Session. That's perfect. Okay, so today we are going to be working on the spine, and we're going to take you through some standing movements, some seated movements, and some movements lying down. So in order to start, I would like you just to, as usual, stand and keep your feet roughly shoulder width apart, and let's take a deep breath in. Close your eyes and just pay attention to where your feet are on the ground. Feel whether you have more weight on your right leg or your left leg. Do you have more weight in the ball of your feet or in the heels? As you're standing, are you able to bring yourself and your awareness into your body before we start today's session? So once you've worked out where your weight is on your feet, I would like you to then make small adjustments to even out the weight so that you're 50-50 front to back, you're 50-50 left to right, and your pelvis and your tailbone are aligned with a point in the center of your feet. So you're feeling grounded. So the first movements we're going to start with the spine are just some broad mobility type movements. So as far as you are comfortable, and this is very important, I want you to look down towards the floor. And this, I would like you to start by tucking your chin in towards your neck. So you're looking to make some double chins here, get that chin in the neck, and you want to feel it stretching at the back of the head here. This is going to open up the very top vertebrae and the top two joints, and there's often headaches that appear from the muscles that are tight at the back of the head. So tucking that chin, lifting the crown towards the sky and starting to look down. Feeling that stretch descend your neck. I don't want it to go any further than your neck at this point. Try and be specific. When you reach the end, come back up nice and slowly. Jaw closed, tongue to the roof of your mouth, looking up towards the ceiling. Find your comfortable end range. We're going to do this 5 times for each movement. So looking down once again, tucking that chin, lifting the crown of the head, scooping your skull. Looking down, feel the stretch descend to the base of the neck. Coming back, looking straight. Again, starting with the chin as you look up, get that skull moving on top of your neck before the rest of the neck extends. Keep the tongue and the jaw up, looking back, coming back. See if you can just go a little bit further each time. If it's not comfortable to do so, that's fine, but we're just trying to wake up the end ranges of your neck in flexion and extension. Good, so a little bit quicker with these last two. Again, thinking about the movement being directed from the chin. When you flex, it starts by bringing that chin inwards before you go downwards. As you get to the midpoint, your chin comes forwards and upwards, pointing towards the sky. Last two. Down, find the end ranges. And last one, looking up. And come back to the center. Now, looking at rotation in the neck. So, looking over one shoulder. And when you're looking over the shoulder, it's important that you try and keep the crown of your head over your pelvis. So that there's a good line that goes between your ear, your shoulder, and your pelvis there before you rotate. And we're going to experiment with variations of this, just so you can feel the difference in range of movement from left to right, when your head and your neck are in different positions. So we start by just doing 5 times each side, that's 1 each, and you're just looking for your comfortable end range. Where are you at right now? Are you stiff this morning? Is it particularly difficult, or is it feeling easy and loose? Try to avoid rotating down further than your neck. You want to look for pure neck rotation here. Find your end ranges. Good. 2 more. 1. Any crunching, any clicking? 2. It's pretty normal to have that happening. So before we change the positions, we're just going to warm up into side bending. So for this, you want to drop your ear down towards your shoulder. And you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you can feel a stretch on the opposite side, but you're not feeling compression on the side you're bending towards. If you're feeling any sensation of pinching on the side you're bending towards, don't push it. Try and adjust and see if you can make it comfortable by maybe moving your head forward slightly. Just change the angle at which you're bending. Don't push into it, because if you're getting pinching sensations, likelihood is something is being pinched. And when you repeatedly do movements that pinch something, it tends to just make it a little bit annoyed. So 2 more of these. 1. My left is much tighter than my right today. 2. Yeah, like there. 2. Okay, good. So now, just to experiment with rotation, we're going to look at what happens to rotation in your neck when you bring your head forwards. So many people spend a lot of the time with their head forwards at their desk when they're working. So I want you to artificially bring your head forwards now. And from this position, I want you to then go into your side bending. So look at, from this forward head position, how much side bending have you got? Any more? Any less? Does this position facilitate that range of movement? Going to do that 3 more times. 1, 2, 2, and 3. 3. Next, keeping that same protracted head position, chin forwards on the top of your spine. I want you to then rotate. How much rotation have you got each side? Is it limited versus the one you started? 2. 2 more of these. 1, 2, 2. Next, flexion and extension, keeping that forward head, looking at downward movement. Are you able to tuck your chin in as well from this position? Or does it automatically correct that forward head posture for you? Down and up. Is it more comfortable? Is it less comfortable in this position? 2. 2 more of these. 1, 2, 2. Okay, come back now to a neck that is normal and sitting nicely on top of your spine. So bringing the crown of your head towards the ceiling, imagining you're being pulled up like a string from the crown of your head. And repeat those same movements. We're just going to do 3 each side, but this is just to really get you to be aware of how the position of your spine changes the range of movement. So we're going to start with side bending in this position. So side bending there with your head nice and straight again. 1. Is that starting to feel any easier now? 2. 2. Last one. 3. 3. Okay, then rotation. Looking over one shoulder. That's certainly improved for me. I don't know about you. Does it feel any easier? Can you get further with that range? 2, 3, 3. And lastly, flexion extension. 1. When you go down, does it pull anywhere else in your spine? 2, 2, 3, and 3. Good, okay, so necks are nice and warmed up now. It's time to get the rest of the spine moving. So we're going to start from the bottom up now. So keeping your feet just narrower than shoulder width apart this time. This will allow a bit more freedom in the hips to move. Hands on your hips, and you're wanting to keep your knees nice and soft, so there's a slight bend in the knees there, they're not locked out, and you're going to be trying to move your pelvis in a circular direction, and the idea with this movement is to actually get your lower back moving. So with your awareness, I want you to pay attention to how your lower back is feeling as you're rotating, and when you're rotating, is your upper body going the opposite direction? As if you were making 2 opposite circles with your shoulders and with your hips. So 3 more circles like this. 1, nice and big. 2, 3, then the other way. We're going to do 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now isolating the chest. So we want to get your pelvis to move underneath the rest of your spine. 1, keeping your chest still. 2, keep your knees soft. 3, we're going to do 10 of these. 4, this is a lower back mobilization. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then the other way. 1, your dance moves are going to improve. They're tenfold if you get this right. 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure your circles are big. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. Okay. Now, let's get to your lower back tilting. So we want to flatten out and arch this lower back. So the movement is a sort of mini thrust forwards. The best way to do this is with your knees slightly bent. It allows freedom of movement in the pelvis, and the pelvis is the key to the lower back. So just getting this arch, and I'm happy for you to go beyond the lower back's range with this, so getting your whole spine to arch and flex as well. When you're arching, you're using the muscles in your lower back and your spine to facilitate this movement. When you're going forwards, you're using your glutes and your lower abs. And the coordination between your spinal muscles as you arch here and coming back and tucking in as you curl is really important for opening and closing the joints and gaining control of that lower back. So the movement should be directed by the pelvis here. I'm going to do another 10 of these. 1. And round a little bit more each time. 2. Feel free to bring your arms into the equation, reaching back as you arch. 3. 4. Keep directing that movement from the pelvis. 5. Keep it comfortable. 6. Really rounding now. 7. Tucking that chin in, starting to get the head involved. 8. 9. Feeling that stretch? Last one. 10. Really rounding. Really stretching. Reach forwards. Tuck that pelvis underneath. Stretch out the spine. Breathe in deep. Come out of it as you breathe in. Rest your hands by your side and come back to normal standing. Okay, so continuing with the flexion and extension work, we're now going to go into a roll down and a restack, and we're going to do this 4 times. If you get lightheaded, just take a break and pause for a minute. So the first thing, tucking that chin in, that movement that we did for the neck initially. Dropping down, feeling the stretch descend the neck. And this time just pay attention to how it travels in between your shoulder blades. Trying to round that mid part of your back, pushing it up towards the ceiling before your lower back bends. When you get to the lower back, tuck that pelvis again. Really open up your entire spine. As you roll down, your crown of your head should be pointing towards the floor. Your arms and shoulders should be completely relaxed, and feel free to bend your knees. Take a moment here, deep breath. Breathe out, relax. And when you're coming back up, you're going to push from your toes first, so gripping your toes into the floor. Pushing your knees back to engage your quads. And then engaging the glutes, so tucking the opposite way, trying to get that spine to put back on top of the pelvis. As you roll up, you're going to lift in the chest and put your head on top of the stack. Take a deep breath at the top and relax. Good, okay, tucking that chin in again. Rolling down, keeping those arms nice and relaxed. Feeling that movement descend the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Looking at it going from top to bottom. When you reach the very bottom, bend your knees, relax your arms and your shoulders. You should be looking between your knees. Take a deep breath. Breathe out, relax. To come back up, press the toes. Lift the arches. Engage the thigh muscles to straighten out the knees. Engage the buttock muscles to bring the lower back on top of the pelvis. Lifting the chest as you get to the midsection, putting your head on top of the stack. Taking a deep breath. Relaxing that tension. Okay, and pause for a minute because I'm getting dizzy, so I imagine you guys are getting a little bit dizzy. So, we're going to do 2 more. 1, 2, 3, starting now, tucking that chin in, dropping down, feeling the stretch descend, mid-back, lower back, relaxing the arms and the shoulders, relaxing the head and the neck, breathe deep, relax yourself into this movement. To come back up, generate tension, bring your toes involved, press into the floor, strain out the knees, feel the thighs engage, engage the buttock muscles to bring the lower back over on top of the pelvis, lifting in the chest to bring your mid-back straight, to stack your head on top. Deep breath, relax the tension again. Okay, final one of this, rolling down, tucking the chin. Breathing all the way, opening up the spine, dropping down, relaxing the shoulders and the neck. Now this one I really want you to generate some tension on the way up, so really press those toes into the floor. Feel how they lift the arches as you press. Engage those thigh muscles to straighten out your knees. Make sure your glutes are tucking your pelvis underneath. Bringing the lower back on top, really lifting that chest. I want you to point that chest up towards the sky and feel how it gets your shoulders to sit nicely. Unfurling the neck and taking a deep breath, letting all that tension you've generated go again. Fantastic. Okay, so next series of movements we're going to do are some reaches, okay? So these are going to be a little bit more demanding in terms of energy, so reaching up towards the sky and down, and you want actually your feet to be a little bit less wide than I had them, so just a little bit wider than shoulder width, so you're nice and stable, reaching down with one arm and up with the other, and this creates a side bending movement in the middle back, and it should initiate a stretch on one side. You may hear some clicks and some pops, that's good, that's just your spine starting to wake up and get moving. So we are going to do these reaches another 10 times. 1, 2, keep them comfortable. 3, gentle stretch is fine, pain is not. 5, 6, 7, make sure you're reaching down and up equally. 8, 9, 10, okay, now reaching towards the floor. 1, standing up in between each one. 1, we're going to do 10 each side. 2, bend those knees. 2, 3, bring the other arm back as you go down. 4, 5, 6, this is lower back and legs. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, reaching forward, standing knees with slightly bent, feet wider than shoulders, you're going to reach forwards. Rotating in the knees, shifting your weight left to right as you do so. Really reach, you're looking for a rotation through your whole body. And we're going to do 10 each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, feel your spine rotating. 5, as you bring your arms back, make sure you really bring your arms back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, shake out your shoulders, shake out your spine. So last couple, we're going to do some upward reaches now. And with these upward reaches, you're going to go upwards and over. So we're looking at a slight side bending movement here. Looking at your hand as you go, upwards and over slightly, coming back. Upwards and over slightly, coming back. When you do this, let your pelvis drop the opposite way. So we're really creating tension in the side of the body and then using the muscles to bring yourself out of that tension. Now for those who are pushing it to the point of real stretch, ease off a bit because this is a demanding movement for your muscles, and if you are pushing it too far too quickly, you will end up in my clinic. So be gentle with yourself. Good. Okay, 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and 3. Good. Okay, so coming down onto, let me just check the time. Great, we've got some time still. Coming down onto all fours now. So now you're in all fours position. We're going to begin a cat and cow type movement. So your hands should be underneath your shoulders, your knees and your legs should be underneath your hips, and what you're going to be doing is going to be tucking your chin in, looking down, pushing away from the floor, feeling your shoulder blades pushing down and across your mid-back as you push your spine towards the sky. Finish with tilting that pelvis, use those glutes. Tucking back now, dropping down and arching the opposite way, looking up towards the sky. Coming back, this time we're going to direct it from the head, so you're going to tuck your chin in. Feel the stretch at the back of the head, pushing the spine away from the floor into the mid-back. Finishing with the pelvic tuck at the end of the movement. When you come back, you start with your head again. Keeping that tongue at the roof of your mouth and your jaw closed. When you get to this point, bring your shoulder blades down towards your pockets of your jeans. And finish in the pelvis, coming back down again. Pushing away from the floor. Feeling the shoulder blades move, tucking the pelvis at the last minute, looking up. Feeling that stretch, tuck those shoulder blades down your back towards your pockets, tilt the pelvis last. Now we're going to unwind from the bottom up, so from this extended position here, you're going to tuck the pelvis first. Using the glutes, tucking that underneath, feeling that stretch ascend through your shoulders and up into your neck, and finish with your chin tucked as the last point in that movement. To unwind, you drop your pelvis this time. Dropping the hips down, feeling that arching coming up from the bottom all the way into your head and arching. 2 more times with the pelvis, tucking that underneath. Feeling that ascending movement. Bottom up, spinal control. Finish with the head tucking in. To unwind, tuck that pelvis. Tilt it down, feel the extension travelling up your spine. And looking up. Good, come back to tabletop. Difficult to coordinate those ones, so very well done for trying to really gain control of top down and bottom up movement in your spine. Next, we're going to move into some rotational stretches for the lower back. Now, for this position, for those who are finding that it's difficult to maintain a press-up position here, just stay on your knees. And for those who are finding it difficult to reach your legs across your body, because we're going to attempt to reach the knee up towards the wrist, just do what you can with this one. And if you're really struggling to lift the legs, feel free to drop the arms instead and work from the top down. But we're going to start with the legs. So for those who want a little bit more of a challenge, come into press-up position, and you're going to be bringing your knee towards your wrist in this press-up position, okay? So find where you're comfortable, because we're going to do 5 of these each side. Starting now, dropping that knee over towards the wrist, coming back up, dropping that knee over towards the wrist, coming back up. That's 1 each side. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, not easy, 5, 5, Back onto tabletop, rest the knees. Okay, now looking at side bending. So you're looking at dropping your ear towards the shoulder on one side. Rotating around to try and close the gap between your hips and your ribs. Unwinding. Dropping the ear to the shoulder on the other side. Closing the opposite side of your body, feeling that stretch on your side. Coming back up. 2 more of these. For those who can't see what I'm doing, I'm closing in on one side. Side bending my whole spine, stretching left and right. Last 2, 1, sorry, last 1 even, and 1. Good. So, lying down on the back now, and we're going to get some really nice mobility work going through the spine. So, for this stretch, what I want you to do is straighten out one leg, the left leg, lifting the right leg up to 90 degrees at the knee and at the hip, and you're going to drop that leg over to one side as you lift the arm opposite, looking at the hand as you drop the hand in the opposite direction to your leg, creating a rotation movement through the spine. Breathing deep at the end range, relaxing your body on the out breath. Coming back out of it. Straightening out that leg, bringing the opposite leg up, bringing that hand up at the same time and dropping as you look at the hand, the knee and the arm in the opposite directions. Feeling the stretch in the spine, and feel free to wiggle into this stretch. Some adjustments that are really nice to make are shifting the pelvis in a different direction, the one that you're lying on, bringing your knee upwards towards your body or further away from you, pushing your knee out further, and just find the stretch that feels the best for your body right now. You can tailor this stretch to where you need it, and I would like you to adjust to your own body. Breathe deep, breathe out, relaxing on the out breath, coming back. And we're going to repeat this another 3 times each side. Remember to wiggle into the stretch to find what feels best for your body. If it feels good, it's good for you. Looking up, dropping the knee and the hand opposite directions, feeling that stretch throughout your whole spine. How does it feel to bend your elbow and place your hand by your ear instead? Is that more comfortable? Less comfortable? Find a movement that feels good. Breathe deep. And relax. Bringing back up, straightening out the other leg, both leg and arm up, looking at the hand, dropping them opposite. Starting to loosen. Are you starting to feel easier as you go into this each time? Have you found a place in your spine that is tighter than the rest? Maybe it's your mid-back. Breathing in deep. And relaxing. Coming back up to the center. Lifting the opposite leg this time. And dropping. Looking at the hand. I got really confused with which arm I was doing, so don't blame yourself if you do the same. Breathing deep when you find the stretch that feels good. Relaxing into it. Coming back out. And resting. I actually lost count as well, so we're going to stop there with those rotations. And we're going to start with some upper body rotating. So dropping your head gently from side to side, feeling the rotation of your neck in this supine position. Breathing deep, breathing out. Allow yourself to rest. And as you start to rotate your head, you're going to drop your knees from side to side now, a slightly more dynamic movement. Dropping the knees in the opposite direction to the head, feeling that whole torsion go through your spine, that rotational movement. Keep your feet locked together, so one foot should be riding off the floor each time you rotate your knees. And expand that range of movement so that your knees are now going as close as they can to the floor. And you're getting more of that rotation happening through your spine. Okay, and now we're going to begin to straighten one leg out as you go. So as you rotate your legs across, straighten one out. As you rotate the leg across the other side, straighten it out. Start to expand this stretching movement. Feeling the muscles start to engage throughout the whole spine. You may hit some clicks, that's okay. Good. Now, as you do the opposite, we're going to lift the arms. So, as your leg reaches over, you're going to lift the arm on the opposite side to where you're looking. Feeling that shoulder expanding as you reach the arm above your head, as your leg drops over. Feel that whole movement in your spine. Good. We're going to do 3 more of these each side. 1. Straightening out that leg, lifting up that arm, the one that you're looking away from. Bringing your spine back. Last one. 1. And 1. Lovely. Okay. So, rolling onto your side now. When you're on your side, we're just going to practice moving your upper body up. So pushing off with that top hand, bringing yourself into this position here, and dropping yourself back down. We're going to do this 3 times. This is a really, really nice movement for your spine in rotation and in side bending. That's 2 and 3. Now, on the last time you stay here, adjust your spine slightly so it feels comfortable. And bring yourself over into tabletop position. Dropping the knees the other side, and you're going to practice the same thing on the other side. So into side bending, lifting up, straight and down. 3 times, lifting up, straight, feel that nice rotation in your back and down. Lifting up, straight, tuck the knees underneath, come back to kneeling. And just feel how your body is. Let me just check the time. Good, okay, so standing up when you're ready, and that is where we're going to finish today. As usual, I'll stick around for the next couple of minutes in case anybody has any questions. Hopefully your spine is feeling nice and loose now. Hopefully you've woken up a little bit too. And thank you very much for joining me this Monday morning. I really appreciate it. So if anybody would like to book a session with me, as usual, we can do one-to-ones. I'm working Monday mornings, Wednesday mornings and Fridays. So if you've got any aches and pains that you would like me to help you with, here is my email and we can book a consultation.